I think it's fair to say that Parasite is one of the most critically acclaimed films in recent memory, certainly when it comes to both critics and audiences. With so much critical acclaim, I figured it would be interesting to check out some negative reviews of Parasite. Now, this isn't meant to dismiss or attack anyone who doesn't like the film. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. These were just some funny reviews I found on Letterboxd, and I thought would be interesting to share. I tried to get a good mix of, funny reviews and serious reviews, although I will say serious reviews were very hard to come by. So let's just check out the first one. Lol, it wasn't in English. Pretty much sums it up. This film was not in English. So I guess if you don't speak English, you can't really watch it. It's a shame they haven't invented something that allows you to understand what's going on. Maybe they could just put some words at the bottom of the screen or something that would really help. But yeah, not in English, so who knows? Who needs this when you have Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed? And this person right here, they raise a fair point. Like, I cannot, I can't rebuttal this in any way. It is absolutely true, Scooby-Doo 2, it's a cinematic masterpiece, quite frankly. I don't think any film will be rivaling it in terms of quality anytime soon. So yeah, 100% absolutely right here. Never have I ever been so disappointed in something. Simply just overrated to every extent. Simple plot with simple acting. Nothing is genius about it. Just 'cause it's foreign doesn't mean it's a masterpiece. This person doesn't go into much detail. They mention simple plot and simple acting, but I don't really think that's a bad thing. It all depends on the execution of the simple plot. It's just, how well is the pacing? How well does it have any glaring plot holes? Do the characters' motivations make sense, etc., etc.? So I think you can still have a fantastic film even if it is simple. Not that I think the plot is pretty simple when you describe it, I guess, but things certainly get more complicated as the film goes along. So yeah, overrated as F. But that's how the BS goes. If it wasn't for Hollywood's diversity warriors, the film would be another Nobody Cares 2019. I don't know what the diversity of the film really has to do with much of it. It wasn't, in terms of, I know what you're saying, but in terms of diversity, it wasn't very diverse. It had, everyone in it was Asian, not much diversity there. But I really don't think that diversity has any bearing on the quality of the film. You also spelled Hollywood wrong. Just a general note. Now, this review may contain spoilers. F you, George. Now, I don't know who George is. Was this warranted? Maybe it was absolutely deserved. Maybe it wasn't, but we'll never know. This is a review of Parasite on Letterboxd. Trust me, that I did go to the review section and this was here, so it's a review of Parasite. This was the greatest thing I have ever watched, but my house was broken into by a guy wearing an Among Us costume while I was watching this and was acting kinda sus. So this is, again, understandable. Sometimes a guy breaks into your house wearing an Among Us costume. Fortunately for me, it was a guy wearing a Fortnite costume instead, so more so annoying than sus, but I mean, what you gonna do, I guess. I guess my only recommendation would be to watch it again, perhaps some other time. Propelled by outrageous narrative leaps, this sophomoric farce, governed by the morals, can't afford them, pseudo-epiphany, inevitably degenerates into a grotesque cartoon as befits a work of a vocational schlock artist, albeit one who doesn't pass up the opportunity to buy critical garlands with sycophantic pop nihilism. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, this is a genuine review. This person was defending it in the comments section. If I may say something, first of all, this is a very poorly structured run-on sentence. It goes on too long. It needs to be broken up a bit more. I also don't understand what's with the quotation marks sort of around morals and can't afford them. But aside from those things, apparently Bong Joon-ho is a schlock artist. I don't think the film is a schlock film. I mean, if you find it bad, that's fine, but I think there's a very big difference between something like Parasite and something one would describe as schlock. This is an example of I'm not against people using big words, but clearly this was big words trying to make themselves sound smart without actually having a clear-cut point. If the sentence was a bit much better formatted in a way, perhaps, then I could take it a bit more seriously. My dog farted so hard I couldn't read the subtitles. Again, this is perhaps one of the best reviews I've ever read. The critical insight here, unrivaled, because a smell, it blocks your vision, apparently. I mean, that'll be the day, but yeah. At worst, a horrific tale of the depravity of man in a godless, valueless society. At best, a cheap propaganda piece against North Korea. Below average acting, weak humor, horrific story, no moral or lesson learned, no likable characters. I am distracted by subtitles, good directing, interesting concept. So this person does try to give a balance between, the positives and negatives. They do mention good directing and interesting concept, but clearly they have a lot of issues. As for no moral or lesson learned, I think I would have to disagree, because the film, it is a commentary on, class and class relations and all that. I thought the acting was fine. The humor, it's not really a comedy, but, there were some moments of levity, I suppose. A horrific story, I don't think that really has a bearing on the quality of the film. Maybe it has something to do with preference, but in terms of whether or not the film was good or bad, I don't think how horrific it is really factors into the quality at all. But yeah. One-dimensional portrayal of Korean society post-financialization. A film with so many gimmicks and hackery, also just foreign enough to become the perfect vehicle for the PC Era Academy Award in Hollywood Philistines. So this one, it's a lot more well-worded than a lot of the other reviews. Again, I will say I don't think that the quality of the film really has any bearing alongside the quote-unquote PC Era Academy and all that. I don't think it's particularly one-dimensional. I think it's very focused in what it's trying to show, but I think it's also showing that perhaps this person is coming from a perspective of like, I think one-dimensional would be, good and bad, black and white sort of thing. But with this film, I think it's not trying to be one-dimensional. It's showing certainly the benefits of what class you are in. This film tries to show it in terms of living situations, but it also tries to show, I suppose, morally and ethically speaking, that there are complications which come into this, where it's like the poorer family, they have more motivation to be doing what they're doing, but there are a lot of moments, I think, where one has to question, what they're doing a lot of time is not ethically right. Whereas on the other hand, the rich family are just, going about their lives, but they're oblivious to any sort of ethical problems that the poor family face. And so there are complications there, and I don't think it's particularly a one-dimensional portrayal of Korean society. I think it tries its best to balance a focused lens on what it's trying to say, while at the same time acknowledging some complications there. But that's all the reviews I have. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. I might do more on other films, so leave some in the comments. But yeah, if you enjoyed, remember to like, subscribe, or dislike, whatever you want to do. Just give me some feedback, whatever you thought. Did you like these reviews? Did you like this video? Let me know what you think of Parasite, and let me know if you want me to do more. And I hope you have a lovely day.